Just doing a quick review here of the new Amazon 26-inch e-bike, the ZDZA. Got one for my wife and I. Got them off of Amazon for $635.99. They had a discount off of $749.99. Ordered them on the 6th of March and got them here by the 11th of March. And here's the little user's manual that comes with it. This is the ZA02. Comes with a nice little toolkit. Extra, I was shocked, but it actually has extra hardware. In the event you lose some of the stainless steel bolts, but it does have everything you need in there to put it together through the toolkit. I just used my handheld air compressor and put 50 psi air in the tires. They come about 15 psi, and I pumped them up to 50. The range is 45 to 65, and I put 50 in there. These bikes do weigh 65 pounds, so I want to have plenty of air in there. But I did need a 3mm Allen wrench, 4mm Allen wrench, 5 and 6. Had to use a Phillips screwdriver. I'll show you what I did with that. This 8mm socket is for putting the tail light on, the little brake light. And you'll definitely need a pair of side cutters, because when it comes in the box, it's full of zip ties. And you have a ton of zip ties you got to cut off. And then I used my Seafoam Deep Creep for all the pedals, bearings, derailleur, the chain, and all that stuff. And when I lubricated the chain, I just filled my rag up with a bunch of the Deep Creep, and then just ran the chain through the rag to get it all nice and oily. But when it comes in the box, the rear luggage rack, you got to install that. The seat is not, you got to install that. Front tire, you got to install the front tire. Comes with just a quick release style, so it's simple to do that. Front fenders you got to put in, the light you got to put in, the rear tail light you got to install, and then that just runs down here, and I ran it through here, see through the frame, and connected it so it'd be out of the way and safe to that little bracket right here. And that's your derailleur. And had to put the pedals on. But I'm completely impressed with the bikes. I don't know how long they're gonna last. I don't know how well this is gonna work, but I've got about a mile on my bike and about 7/10 of a mile on my wife's bike. And never owned an e-bike before, but very impressed. They do a fantastic job. There is 7 speeds that you do here with a Shimano derailleur, so you can do that to pedal it. And then here's your little throttle. And then here's your brake. And they are disc brakes. That's the only downfall about this, is that the disc brakes are not very grabby. I guess would be a good way to put it. But your battery does live right here. And it's real sleek, how you can't even really tell that it's an e-bike, other than if you saw the front upper bar right here, or if you look back here and saw that that's where the electric motor is at. And then right here is your chargers, and it tells you to plug them into the wall first, then plug them into the battery, and they can take up to 8 to 12 hours the first time you're charging them to make sure that they're fully charged. And then right here is where the LED, it'll be red when you plug it in, and then it'll go green once the battery's fully charged. So you can see that's showing green right there. It's not plugged into a battery, but it'll be red while it's charging. Let's see here. We can adjust your seat. That's the same thing, little quick release on that. And we can fire this guy up. So it comes with your positive, that's your power, and that's your negative. That's your speeds of the electric motor. So it starts off at 1 and goes all the way up to 5. And it will do 22 miles an hour. I tried that yesterday. So you hold the button, comes on. The display works fantastic. And there's other options you can do. You can go from kph to mph, depending on what you want to have displayed. And you can do brightness. You can dim it or brighten it. You can run through here. So like there's an odometer. So that's 1.0. So there's 1 mile. There's a trip. That's how much voltage is in the battery. That's how much wattage you'll use. So as you're pedaling along and start going up a hill, you'll see that number come up. And then that's how long it's been on. So it's been on for 30 seconds. And then back to odometer. But it does a fantastic job. You pull that, you see how that lights up there at the top? That's letting you know that it's disconnected the electric motor because you pulled the brake. And then it has a light. So here's this nice bright LED light. And then you can see the one here in the back. And then pull the, you can see the light on that. It also has the horn. So it's loud. And then when you're gonna go load it down onto a bike rack, you have this option here to where you can lock and unlock. So when you want front forks to be adjustable, you unlock it, and then when you don't want them to be adjustable and there's no compression to it, you hit lock. And then this is how much dampening you want right here. You can adjust that guy and how hard or soft you want that to be. I've got it set to the softest because that seems to be the best. With being I got 50 psi air in the tires. But it is a front disc brake. And when I put this guy together, you do have to mess with the derailleur a little bit because first gear all the way up here at the top, it would not go in the first gear, so I had to kick it over more to make it do that. And then it wouldn't pull far enough towards me to go into 7th gear. And that was just, I just backed this is your cable coming down, so I just had to back that out to pull the derailleur closer to me, and then it would go into 7th gear, but that's all it is. And had to mess with a little bit of the chain guard there. And it does have a water bottle holder. You do install that. Put your seat where you want that to be first before you put that whole holder in there for your water bottle, because this top stainless steel Allen head screw, it'll end up getting on that bar, and then the next thing you know, you can't move the seat up or down. Installing this luggage rack, you're going to want to make sure you do these guys first and get these all good and started. Not tight, but just started, because they're at an angle, and so they're a little bit tricky to get them going in there. I even had to bend on my wife's bike. I had to bend these. I had to put a adjustable wrench on it and then actually bend it in to make it fit the contour of the back of the bike. But I got that done, and then down here is where it mounts once you're good to go with there at the top. Really nice kickstand. The fenders are just cheapy Charlie plastic, but they do exactly what you need. This is where I had to use the Phillips screw because these are not quite centered. So to get it centered on the back tire, I had to loosen these and slide it and then retighten it because that clamps down on there. May even have to bend this a little bit on the wire itself, the metal support. For me, I'm going to move my seat up a little bit because it wants to make me slide forward off of it, so I'm going to kick it up a little bit for me. But it's a really nice bike. I mean, you got your front brake. Like I said, there's your throttle. See, it moves right there. This is to go up and for your chain, and this is to go down. You just push it. That's all it does there. Like I said, it goes all the way up to 5 speeds. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and it moves out. These are really cool because as you're pedaling is when the electric motor comes into play. So if you're not pedaling, the bike will not move on its own unless you hit the throttle. Then it'll move on its own. But it kicks the motor out when you're not pedaling or anytime you pull the brake. So it's we go camping, so this is our gig, is we're gonna use these guys when we're at the campground. That's what the whole plan is with this. My wife likes hers. She likes the color, but it's exactly the same, just different color. And then the last thing I'll show you is the key that locks the battery in there. Like, only thing I would say is being we're used to doing beach cruisers from being at Hilton Head. And then you go into these guys, and the handlebars are a little bit more narrower, so they're closer together from your left arm to your right arm, so that's a little bit different. And they are 65 pounds, so that's something you got to think about when you're going to brake. They're not gonna break instantly. So we grabbed these key, and they're each numbered. So this is gonna be my wife's one. This says the ZA02. And you come over here, which I think is awesome. You can charge it while it's in the bike if you want to. You just pop this guy out of the way, and there's your access to your charging. Or kick this guy backwards, counterclockwise. Battery pack comes out, and it's all metal encased. As a complete metal encased battery. And so down here at the bottom is where your connections are at. You can see it sits down inside there. But I just thought it looked so nice. It's neat and clean, and it looks like it's part of the bike. I'm not gonna leave these in when we're traveling with our camper. When I put them on the bike rack, I'm not gonna leave them there. That's just added more weight, and you don't want them bouncing around while they're on the camper. And the other thing they said in the manual is that you don't want to get them wet. So you don't want to wash them like you would a normal bike if you want to put soap and water and rinse it down, because there's so much electrical connections on it. That's the main connection right here. This guy, that's the one that goes in the electric motor itself. This is the one that does the back brake light there. And then you got this whole harness coming up here, and it goes to your light, and you got your horn, and then it comes up even more. That's going to run off your display. So they tell you just to wipe it down, because that's an electrical connection. There's another electrical connection comes up here, like I said, into each one of your brake handles. So if they actually last and go through the couple of years, that would be fantastic, because so far we're very, very happy with them. Like I said, got them off of Amazon. The jungle webs, I guess they call it.